Hey there! A lot of you have left comments asking for a longer tutorial, specifically for hosting and web builder. Since I'm always looking for ways to make my tutorials more accessible to you, I've combined all my best and most in-depth Hostinger tutorials into one mega tutorial that covers everything from getting a cheap Hostinger subscription to setting up email and upgrading to virtual private servers. And before we start, do me a favor and leave a comment if you found this review type helpful and want more of these videos. Okay, let's start. Okay, first, there are timestamps in the description or on the screen. Use them to jump to the place you need, since all of you can be in different stages of this whole Hostinger WordPress tutorial. For those who already have a Hostinger subscription, see you in a few moments. But for complete beginners, we need to get you a WordPress optimized plan, and we need to do it as cheaply as possible. Luckily, hosting providers usually offer ridiculous discounts, and if you click the link in the description or scan the QR code, you'll activate the current biggest one. Once redirected, select the premium plan. It's the cheapest option, yet it has all we need and more. The biggest reason why I choose Hostinger for my WordPress websites is that it provides weekly or daily automatic backups and offers more resources for the same price. Alright, I highly recommend going with the yearly or even longer subscription period, since this will keep the price as low as possible and give you a 30-day money-back guarantee option. I also want to mention that when canceling Hostinger, you don't need to call anyone or explain your reasoning in some loopy cycle. No, you just fill in a form and that's done. Right before completing your purchase, double check whether the Hostinger discount code is still applied. If it isn't for some reason, just type in Cybernews. After you're finished, you should receive an email that you'll need to confirm. Now we can move on to the main Hostinger WordPress setup. This initial setup will be slightly different from regular website creation, but the overall process is similar. Oh, and Hostinger keeps changing things and upgrading, and we're trying to update our videos as frequently as possible. But if a button is moved or a step is out of order, well, don't blame us. But in all seriousness, fill in your information and select what you want to build. For this, we're choosing to build a new site with WordPress. Then create the Hostinger WordPress administrator user, and I recommend choosing Astra as your main theme unless you want something specific. Then skip the plugin selection. You can add them later on through HPanel or simply through WordPress admin. Next, on how to install WordPress, the domain part. And there are quite a few options that you can have. First, every plan except monthly has a free domain credit, so type in the name you want to see if it's available. Hostinger will show you all name and domain extension combinations. Then select the one you prefer. In most cases, the best choices are names ending with .com or .net, since these are what most of us associate with websites. If your audience is in a specific location and you're in there too, you can grab a country-specific extension, like .uk or .ca. Just know that the domain name needs to be registered with your real information to avoid suspensions or other problems. And some countries might not allow registering a domain if you're not from the country. There are a lot of domain extensions. I can't go into all of them, so I'll leave some useful info below. Before you commit to the domain name, make sure you double check this small price. It shows you how much this domain configuration will cost you when it's time to renew. So, just ensure that the price range fits your budget. But if you already used your free credit or got Hostinger for 1 month, you can just buy a domain from this window. Or, a new feature, a temporary subdomain like this one. You can create experimental or test sites without buying domains, so without spending any cash. So that expensive website limit comes nicely into play here, giving you freedom. If you have a domain name already and you want to create a subdomain, make sure that you select your domain and type the subdomain name in front of it with a dot following. One last thing in the initial setup is to choose a data center location. What does that do for your site? Basically, the closest the data center is to your intended audience, the faster your website will load for them. These days, this isn't the most important thing, since you can easily set up a free content delivery network with Cloudflare or integrate one with more expensive Hostinger plans. What this does is basically copy our site through hundreds of servers around the globe, normalizing performance for nearly everyone. Well, maybe not that one guy on that one island in the middle of nowhere. And more importantly, don't overthink it, since Hostinger allows you to change your data server for free once a month. On top of that, Hostinger will analyze your traffic and will suggest the best data center based on that, so you don't even need to think. Just wait for users and switch to what Hostinger recommends. After you've chosen the data center, give the setup a second to finish. If you already finished this setup, then learning how to install WordPress and Hostinger is easy. Click here, select WordPress, and basically go through the same simple setup as before, minus the data server selection and overall registration. Oh, and I just want to mention that Hostinger makes it super easy to transfer a website if you already have one. Not only does it give you helpful info on what you need to do, but it also allows you to upload all files in one place. Or a better approach for beginners, give Hostinger your login details and they'll move it in a few days. In my case, it was a few hours, but of course that depends on the size of your website. No matter what approach you choose, you should see this Hostinger dashboard. The next part of this Hostinger tutorial will focus on WordPress specific tools and features that are available to you. First, the WordPress Hostinger dashboard. I appreciate just how much info Hostinger displays in a relatively clutter-free way. You can see your database, PHP, and WordPress version on one screen. You can also install recommended plugins, check out your SSL availability, and enable maintenance mode with one click. Maintenance mode just puts a friendly page saying the site is under construction while you can log in and work on it in the background. A new thing introduced are presets. With upgraded hosting, you can set up certain configurations or turn the current site into a preset and speed up your work. If you ever decide to start developing sites for others or expand your scope, this is a great tool to have, though you don't need it if you only plan to host a few small projects. Another good thing about Hostinger is that you don't need to worry about optimizing your performance. First, Hostinger is fast on its own, being able to load a default WordPress theme in less than a second due to its light speed servers. That's not all. If you scroll down in your website's Hostinger dashboard, you can select the caching level, from normal to aggressive, that minimizes everything. But keep in mind this can sometimes mess with your site, so test these levels out. Luckily, Hostinger reverses any changes, so you won't permanently break your site. More expensive plans include object caching, but even this basic WordPress speed optimization will do wonders for small projects. On the WordPress side, you automatically get a Lightspeed plugin, and the most important thing you need to know about it is that it allows you to optimize your images for free. Just go to the plugin and then to the image section. Now, just send the first batch of a few files. Once they are confirmed, you can send bigger batches and optimize all your media in a few hours. Look, the main reason why I would say that Hostinger is the best hosting for WordPress beginners is how user-centric it is. I've already mentioned lots of resources and newer tech, but there's also learning options in every corner, like the aptly named Learn tab, giving you lots of video tutorials that can help you out. It's not a lot, but it's convenient to access, and paired with other support tools, that's quite a user-friendly design. Want more convenience? How about a fully integrated Google Insight page speed test? I can do it as many times as I want, both for mobile and desktop versions. And Hostinger automatically runs them from time to time, so you can just log in and immediately see how your WordPress projects are doing and whether there's any problems. Next up, Hostinger offers easy website staging, but on the more expensive plans. Do you need website staging? Well, if your site is already live and you want to do some major fixes or test how one thing or the other might work, then yeah, staging is the best option. It works by creating a copy of your website that can be edited while the live version stays reachable for users. Once you've done all you want to change, you can click one button and merge the staging version with the live version, updating it. It's probably the easiest and fastest way to do some fixes when you can't or don't want to lose visitors for even a moment. Moving on. One of the biggest security issues that any WordPress website faces are outdated themes, plugins, or a WordPress version itself. Current WordPress comes with auto updates for plugins and themes that you can set up. Hostinger also allows you to auto update basically every part of WordPress, though this feature is locked under more expensive plans. I tried comparing these two in terms of updates, but both WordPress and Hostinger work fine. Hostinger just allows you to select all of them and not enable them one by one. What's more important, well, at least if you're like me and like to learn what is happening, this page also offers info on each plugin or theme's security. If Hostinger finds any vulnerability, it will not only inform that it's time for a change or upgrade, but also give a snippet of what exactly the issue was. You can then spend 5 minutes Googling it and instantly be better at WordPress security and hosting. Small steps to a pro. If you ever heard about WordPress misconfigurations or troubleshooting, you've probably heard the first step is to disable plugins or switch themes. It's kind of easy to do. Navigate to our website files with an FTP tool or through hosting. Go to WP Content, then Plugins, and rename by adding a dash in front. But that takes some time. Instead, we can disable it one by one through the Hostinger dashboard and check whether it was the culprit. If you have tried to disable everything and switch to the default theme, but your site still has problems, then there's one newly added tool you can try out. This tool is sort of invisible when you don't need it, but helps a lot when something hits the fan. You can find an AI troubleshooter by clicking WordPress in the left panel. It will do a little AI scan, and if your site works properly, you should see this page. It informs you immediately if anything happens to your website. Another way that Hostinger shows its user friendliness. It tries really hard to keep you in the loop with any security issues. If troubleshooting did not solve your issues, there is AI chat support that can actually rather quickly answer some rudimental questions about your hosting or billing, but can sometimes loop around. There seems to be a daily limit on how many times you can use it, which is a bit weird, but I guess the limit is for a reason. If you're tired of all this AI nonsense and want to talk to a real person, support is readily available. It's just needlessly complex to find, and some users just end up not reaching it. If you want to start a live chat with a support agent, click this box at the bottom. Select any of these topics and just go through selecting until you reach a page that looks like this. Here's the live chat button. Click it and a pop-up will appear. Now you can chat to your heart's content. Of course, judging support quality is difficult. It depends on the problem, time of day, and the agent, his or herself. But for us at Cybernews, any hosting provider that is below $10 should answer you in 5 to 10 minutes and solve your issues or give an answer in an hour. And Hostinger's agents are always nice and friendly. Their answers can take time, but they usually are straight to the point. Oh, and they even check on your problem from time to time to see if everything's alright. How cute. There's one more tool I want to cover here. AI Content Creator. This feature is only included in the more expensive plans, so this will be a good showcase of whether you should upgrade. What the tool does is basically create full blog posts automatically. What I love about it is that it's a simple WordPress plugin. I don't need to go anywhere or copy anything. Though the customization options are a bit more limited now, but as with most AI tools, we should expect it to get more refined over time. Now easily creating posts is amazing for your website search engine optimization. The tone of your creation doesn't need to be just one. You can mix witty with professional, or just say the hell with it and go with all the tones. Describe what you want and add at least one keyword for better optimization. Now, the results are the best part if you're a beginner because it does your SEO for you. Yep, look at this. It filled the meta description, added an image with an alt title, and inserted more related keywords. I didn't have to do anything. So I highly recommend Hostinger's AI Content Creator if you're running a blog or want to skip the WordPress SEO step entirely. After logging in, head over to the website's tab, click that big purple button, and select Hostinger Website Builder. From there, you'll be prompted to describe your website. Choose a category and add a title. You'll also have the option to pick a template at this stage, but don't worry, I'll break that part down later. For now, let's focus on the AI Builder. Providing a detailed description is key. Hostinger's AI takes what you write and crafts a website design complete with relevant text and images. Within seconds, your site is ready to go. Well, kind of. From there, you can choose a color template and dive into editing. If the initial result isn't quite what you were expecting, no worries, just generate it again. And if after a few tries it still doesn't look right, try tweaking your prompt a bit. Once you're happy with it, simply hit Let's Start Customizing to move forward. Or let's rewind for a sec. What if you'd rather start with a template instead of using the AI generated designs? Click Add Website, then scroll down and select or use pre-made templates. You'll get access to over 150 templates to choose from. If you want a hybrid option, look for designs tagged Personalize with AI. There aren't a ton of these yet, but they're a much better foundation than randomly applying AI content to a static layout. From there, it works just like the AI website builder. You enter your brand name and description, and the AI fills in the template with relevant content automatically. No matter which method you pick, the next step is editing, and Hostinger's drag and drop editor makes it crazy simple. You can adjust text, swap out images, and move sections around with ease. Just click drag and drop. Even if you've never built a website before, the intuitive layout makes it super easy to customize everything with zero hassle. There are 14 core elements at your disposal, covering everything from social icons and galleries to contact forms and custom code blocks. No overwhelming menus, just the essentials you actually need. Need terms of service sections, forms, or shop blocks? The pre-built section library has you covered. Could there be more animation and styling controls? Sure, but for a solid balance between ease of use and functionality, Hostinger nails it. Now, color selection can feel overwhelming in some builders, but Hostinger keeps it clean and simple. The color settings show you all the shades used in your design, along with how often each one appears, making it super easy to tweak your palette for a cohesive brand identity. And let's not forget fonts, they matter just as much. The Text tab offers curated font pairings to get you started, and if you want more control, the font editor lets you adjust size, line height, and font variations. Maybe your H2 headers need a bold, standout vibe while your H3s stay sleek and modern. You've got full flexibility. For even more personalization, there's an extensive font library to help give your site a unique personality. Buttons and animations might not be the first things you think about, but they play a big role in your website's overall design and feel. The Buttons tab gives you 3 consistent styles to keep things uniform across your pages, and the Animation tab offers 4 movement effects to add some subtle motion. But honestly, I recommend keeping it minimal. A little goes a long way, and you don't want things to get too distracting. Now that the style is locked in, the content probably isn't quite there yet. Let's start with something simple like adding an image. Just drag the image element where you want it, and a demo image will pop in, ready to be replaced. Click Change Image to upload your own, or browse through Hostinger's built-in stock image library. Once your image is in place, hit Edit Image to tweak things like shape, opacity, and even animation. You can do the same with galleries, text, and other elements. But let's talk about the easiest way to fill your site with content: AI. Hostinger is easily one of the best AI website builder options out there. It doesn't just offer a prompt-based builder, it also comes packed with a solid lineup of AI tools to help you easily build the website you've always wanted. You'll find these tools on the left side of the dashboard, and they include things like a logo maker, blog generator, AI writer, and more. For beginners, it's a goldmine, super easy to use and incredibly helpful. Just a heads up, you'll need the business plan to access these tools. And another quick reminder, you can grab either of the Hostinger website builder plans at the lowest price using our Hostinger coupon code in the description. You're welcome. Anyhow, let's get into the AI tools. First up, the AI image generator. It's flexible and pretty solid. Feed it a good prompt and it usually delivers decent results. Just keep an eye on your credits. Hostinger gives you a limited amount, and after that, each image will cost extra. Next, the AI logo maker, which can be a huge money saver. It spits out clean, non-copyrighted logos in seconds. Perfect if you don't want to spend money on a designer. Sure, it might not match a pro designer's work, but for a simple project, it more than gets the job done. The AI blog generator might also be a money saver, or at the very least, a serious time saver if you're planning to write content yourself. It can whip up entire blog posts from just a few keywords. Sure, you'll probably want to edit the text afterward, but if you need SEO content or just a solid starting point, it gets things going fast. Then there's the AI heatmap tool, a pretty unique addition. It predicts which parts of your site will get the most attention before you even go live. Can I guarantee it's 100% accurate? Nope. But it can be super useful for new websites. For example, small online stores could use it to place buy buttons in the most high traffic spots. And if you're focusing on social media growth, it can help you position those links where they're more likely to get clicked. Now, the AI page generator is perfect for building new pages fast. Just drop in a description and it'll generate a rough layout for you. Is it perfect? Not really. It might struggle to nail exactly what you're going for, but honestly, it's way better than staring at a blank page and feeling that creative paralysis kick in. AI isn't just for designing and writing. Hostinger also brings it to e-commerce. One of the newest features is the AI product details generator. It creates compelling product descriptions from just a few keywords, saving you time and helping maintain consistency across all your product listings. Now, SEO can feel like a total nightmare, especially for beginners. But if you want your site to rank higher on Google, you can't ignore it. Luckily, Hostinger's AI-powered SEO tools make the process way less painful. The AI takes care of the essentials: meta descriptions, sitemaps, keyword suggestions, so your site gets better visibility without you needing to be an SEO expert. Just open the SEO AI Assistant, hit Generate New SEO Info,
add a quick site description, or keep the default one if it fits. Pick 3 main keywords and that's pretty much it. The SEO settings page even shows you a preview of how your site will appear in search results, plus a progress bar that highlights what needs improvement. It's basically SEO for dummies, but in the best possible way. By now, you're probably ready to launch your masterpiece. Feeling nervous? Don't be. If you followed my guidelines, it probably looks pretty professional, and publishing is super easy. Just hit go live and a pop-up will give you a link to your brand new website. You'll also get the option to tweak your domain name if needed. If this is your first site on Hostinger, congrats! You get a free domain for the first year. You can claim it now or use a temporary domain and sort it out later. Just type in your preferred domain name and Hostinger will even throw a few suggestions your way. You'll also see the renewal price for next year. Once you find the one you like, hit next, and boom, your site is officially live and ready to take on the internet. Well, I guess that wasn't too difficult, but there are a few more things I want to cover in this Hostinger AI website builder review. One of those is security, because I want to give you a little peace of mind and let you know you can trust Hostinger. Every plan includes a built-in SSL certificate, which means any data exchanged between your visitors and your site, especially payment details, is encrypted and safe from prying eyes. And if you're running an online store, you'll be happy to know that Hostinger's e-commerce tools are validated by the highest security standards for processing payments. That means you can rest easy knowing your customers' financial info stays locked down and secure. No shady business, just peace of mind for you and your buyers. Besides security, performance is just as important. Nobody likes waiting around for a website to load, but that's not the only reason you want your site to be fast. A faster website means better user experience, higher engagement, and even improved search engine rankings. Speed isn't just a luxury, it's a key factor in how well your site performs across the board. To avoid being buried in the search results, Google recommends that websites load within 2.5 seconds, or at least have the most important content visible by then. To see if Hostinger meets the mark, I tested the site I just built using Hostinger's AI, and it easily loaded within Google's recommended time. So yeah, it's fast, it's secure, and it's easy to build.
The steps for how to move domain are simple. First, unlock your domain name at your current provider. Then, get the EPP code for confirmation. After that, initiate the transfer on the provider you're moving to. Finally, confirm that it's really you requesting the transfer. The only thing you really need after that is some patience, because the whole process does take some time while systems update. One important rule to remember is that any domain registered or transferred within the last 60 days cannot be transferred again due to ICANN's standard restriction. This catches a lot of beginners off guard, so keep that in mind before starting. If your domain is fresh, you'll need to wait a bit. But those are all the steps, and as you'll see, the best providers have already made this process even simpler. A typical Hostinger domain transfer starts by logging into your account, going to the domain section, selecting the domain you want to move, unlocking it, and then copying your EPP code. Unlocking your domain name is really important since this feature helps prevent any unauthorized use of your domain. Once you start the transfer with your new provider and confirm the request through your email, Hostinger usually processes everything pretty quickly. It's also one of the best places for cheap domains, especially if you're trying to save money.
There are two main options: the business starter plan, perfect for small businesses at under $1 a month, and the business premium plan, great for growing businesses at around $3 a month. These plans include all the essentials, robust security, and key features, so you don't need to worry about extra add-ons or unnecessary upsells. But that's not the only way to get emails with Hostinger. In fact, grabbing a shared hosting plan might actually save you money in the long run. All Hostinger hosting plans come bundled with email services, making them a cost-effective choice since you can also set up landing pages, blogs, or even build an e-store with the Hostinger website builder. However, do keep in mind that this option works best if you plan to run a few smaller projects. The reason for this is that Hostinger's shared hosting plans allow you to create 2 1 GB mailboxes for free, and anything beyond that will require an upgrade. Hostinger even gives you a free 1-year trial of Pro Email, but keep in mind that it might require extra fees if your projects grow. Then again, spending more because your project is successful doesn't sound that bad. Another thing, if you want to go all out, you can get the Google Workspace add-on to maximize your email capabilities. That said, it's mainly a Google Workspace product, so I won't go into explaining all of it here. If you do end up needing help, just let me know by leaving a comment.
So, how do you manage emails with Hostinger? Let me give you a quick email tutorial. Step 1, prepare your domain. Before you start, make sure you have a domain linked to your website. If you purchase your domain during setup, then you don't need to do anything. Step 2, log into HPanel and navigate to emails, then click on Setup Free Email Service. Step 3, choose a domain for which you want to create a professional email account. Finally, click Confirm. Step 4, select your email plan. For this email tutorial, choose Hostinger Free. Remember, you can upgrade anytime later if your project requires it. Step 5, create your email account. Enter your desired custom email address, set a strong password, and click Create. A tip would be to keep your communication secure. Always use SSL TLS encryption. Here are the settings recommended by Hostinger. You can also find this information in the description if you want to copy them. Step 6, while you can access your email through the browser at mail.hostinger.com or through the HPanel, you might want to connect it to various email clients for added features like offline access and overall simplicity. To do so, go to Emails, Manage, Connect Apps and Devices in HPanel. Then check the server settings for IMAP/POP and SMT values. It's recommended to use IMAP for its security and flexibility. For Apple Mail, go to HPanel, Manage, Connect Apps and Devices. Click on Set up Apple Devices. Enter your display name and select your Hostinger email address. Click Continue, then scan the QR code or download the profile. Install the profile on your Apple device and enter your Hostinger email account name and password. For Gmail users on a web application, open the Gmail app and go to Settings, See All Settings. Click on Accounts and Import. In the Send Mail As section, click Add another email address. Enter your display name and Hostinger email address. Check Treat as an alias if you want. Use smtp.hostinger.com as the SMTP server and port 465. Enter your username and password, then click Add Account and confirm via the email sent to your Hostinger address. If you want to do the same setup on mobile, the steps are similar. Open the Gmail app and go to Settings, Add Account, Other. Enter your Hostinger email address and click Next. Choose IMAP as the account type and enter your password. For incoming server settings, use imap.hostinger.com. For outgoing server settings, use smtp.hostinger.com. Set your preferences and enter your display name. The last thing I want to talk about in this Hostinger email tutorial is troubleshooting. There might be small but very annoying issues whenever you try to connect two different platforms. So if you're experiencing problems sending or receiving emails, follow these steps. First, make sure your email services are active and not disabled or suspended. Second, look for any ongoing maintenance that might affect email services. If maintenance is in progress, wait until it's completed before trying again. Lastly, ensure your domain's DNS settings include the correct MX records for your email and check that they are fully propagated. Next up, if emails are disappearing from your inbox, try the following. Check for any active email forwarders that might be moving emails to another address without leaving a copy on the server. Also, make sure your email client is set to IMAP instead of POP3. If you're using POP3, configure it to leave a copy of emails on the server. If your emails are taking a long time to arrive, consider doing this. Check for any emails stuck in the queue. Verify your email client and server settings aren't misconfigured. High email traffic can slow down delivery time, so keep an eye on your email sending patterns and adjust as necessary. If your emails aren't delivering at all, try these solutions. Carefully read the bounce messages to understand why delivery failed. Common issues include a full inbox or incorrect email addresses. You won't believe how often the simplest solution is the one that fixes everything. So keep your inbox organized and your email address memorable. Also, your domain or IP address might be blacklisted, causing emails to bounce. Use an email blacklist checker to verify your status. Even if you think this isn't the case, it's always better to check these things before doing anything else. What if your emails are landing in spam or junk folders? Well, first, avoid spammy language and excessive links, as these can trigger spam filters. Take some time to read a few articles on what Google considers spam and don't do it. If you're not doing any of that, then set up SPF, DKIM, and DMARC records to authenticate your emails and improve deliverability. Hostinger makes it easy as they explain what's needed and where to find it. If you encounter encryption issues while using SMTP port 465, consider switching to port 587 for a more stable and secure connection. I left another link in the description if you want a more detailed explanation on this. Lastly, if you did the unthinkable and accidentally deleted an email account, follow these steps to potentially restore it. If it's been less than 15 minutes since deletion, recreate the email account using the dedicated button to restore all data. If it's been more than 15 minutes but less than 7 days, contact the Hostinger customer support team for assistance. It's not 100% guaranteed that they'll be able to help, but they'll try their best. However, be aware that after 7 days, all data associated with the deleted account will be permanently lost. At that point, you'll need to start fresh. Hey, it is what it is. At least with Hostinger's cheap professional email options, it's a pretty painless process. Now you know how to create an email with Hostinger.
We need to pick the best VPS hosting plan. This might seem a little overwhelming, but don't worry. I'll break down what you should focus on. All VPS plans come with essentially the same features. The only difference is the hardware resources your server will get. Think about the type of website you're running. Is it a small blog, an e-commerce site with hundreds of products, or maybe a portfolio with lots of high-res, large images? The larger your website and the more traffic you expect, the more resources you'll need. For most beginners, a mid-tier VPS plan is a great starting point. It gives you enough power to handle growth without breaking the bank. The best part about hosting your VPS is that you can easily scale up anytime you need to. So, starting with the cheapest option and adapting as your site grows is a perfectly viable strategy. Even though Hostinger offers cheap VPS hosting, I've left a Hostinger coupon code in the description to save you even more. Or you can scan the QR code on the screen to grab yourself a plan. Oh, and if you're into gaming, check out our VPS for gaming tutorial by clicking right here. Once you've chosen a plan and signed up, it's time to log into your VPS. For this, you'll need something called SSH Access. If you're using Windows, you can download a free tool like Putty. For Mac and Linux users, you're in luck. Your terminal is already SSH ready, so you won't need to install anything extra. Now, we need the terminal to update your server with DNF update, DNF upgrade, and then... Nah, I'm joking. Don't panic, we won't be coding anything. With Hostinger, the setup is actually really simple. In your Hostinger dashboard near VPS, click Setup, and you'll be guided through the VPS guide with quick onboarding. Hostinger will automatically choose a server for you based on the information you provided. However, this choice might not always be the best. For example, if you're in the USA but your main market is in Europe, you can select from 11 data centers around the world. What I love is that you get to see the latency from your current position, which helps you make an informed decision. I'm all about that data. Data is fun. Also, something I personally love about Hostinger is that most of their data centers are powered by 100% renewable energy. A nice little bonus for the environment. Now, let's take a look at how to set up your VPS. First, select an operating system. For this WordPress VPS tutorial, I recommend choosing a pre-configured OS with CyberPanel. It's free and optimized for WordPress hosting, making it a great option for us. Hostinger offers a variety of control panels, but many of them are more advanced or designed for specific use cases. Plus, most require a premium license. Starting with something free like CyberPanel will be the best fit for our needs. One important note, if you decide to change your control panel later, you can absolutely do that. However, be aware that it will delete your website since it involves a full server reinstall. It might take a few minutes for your VPS to be ready, so grab a coffee while Hostinger works its magic in the background. Once it's done, you'll see your server's details like the IP address and root login credentials. If you need to copy any of these values, just click on them for a quick and easy copy. Super convenient. Once your VPS is ready, the next step is to log into CyberPanel. To do this, open your browser and type in your server's IP address, followed by 8090. That's the default port for CyberPanel. Use the admin credentials provided in your VPS details window. Once you're logged in, the first thing you should do is change your admin password to something strong and unique. CyberPanel will prompt you to do this during the first login, so just follow the steps provided. And hey, maybe consider using a good password manager to keep that password safe. Now, let's create a website. Click on Websites in the sidebar, then select Create Website. Fill in your domain name and choose a PHP version. As a good rule of thumb, if you don't have any specific needs for older versions, always go with the highest PHP version available. This will help ensure your site runs as fast as possible. Once you've made your selections, just click Create. CyberPanel will handle the rest. With your website set up, it's time to install WordPress. CyberPanel makes this process super easy. Go to the application installer in the sidebar and select WordPress. Fill in the required details like your admin username, password, and email address. Double check your domain name to make sure it's correct. Better safe than sorry. Then click Install.
In just a minute or two, WordPress will be installed and ready to go. Moving on in this hosting or VPS tutorial. Once WordPress is installed, you can log in by visiting yourdomain.com/wp-admin or wp-login. Enter the username and password you just created, and you'll be greeted by the WordPress dashboard. The first thing you'll want to do is pick a theme. Go to Appearance and then Themes. Browse through the available options or upload a premium theme if you have one. For beginners, free themes like Astra or Ocean WP are great choices. Personally, I always go with either Astra or the default theme. 2020 is still my favorite. Once your theme is activated, you can start customizing it. Now, a quick note about themes. While most are free, some come with premium versions, which means some of the cool features you see may be locked behind a paywall. But don't worry, themes are usually priced fairly. And with the premium version, you get better updates and sometimes even 24/7 support. For default themes, you can use the Edit Site option to access most appearance settings. If you're using Astra, you can use the customizer to tweak colors, fonts, and layouts. The great thing about Astra is that it also comes with a website builder built right in. So it's all drag and drop, no coding required. For more tutorials on how to work with WordPress, don't forget to subscribe to our channel or check out this video right here. Now that your site is live, let's talk about security. CyberPanel includes some great features like free SSL certificates to secure your website. To get started, go to the SSL section and issue a certificate for your domain. It's quick and easy. The best part is that CyberPanel gives you a free Let's Encrypt SSL certificate without you having to do much. Just make sure your domain info is correct, and once the certificate is issued, check your site again to see if the status has changed. If it doesn't show up immediately, don't worry. Sometimes it takes a few minutes for everything to update. Also, don't forget to keep both your VPS and WordPress installation updated. Regular updates are crucial to ensuring your site stays secure and runs smoothly. CyberPanel makes this super easy, as VPS updates can be managed directly from the dashboard. However, I also recommend going to the admin panel in WordPress, heading over to plugins, and ensuring that auto updates are enabled for all plugins. Okay, not every single one. For smaller or lesser known plugins, I'd recommend leaving auto updates off. You don't want an update from a random developer to break your site, so let others test it before you enable it. Managing a VPS doesn't stop once your site is live. You'll need to constantly monitor performance, apply security updates, and optimize settings. That's the beauty of VPS, control and freedom. But let's be honest, it can get a bit tiresome. That's where Hostinger's Kodee AI Assistant comes in as a real lifesaver. Kodee can guide you through common tasks like clearing cache, checking server load, or troubleshooting issues. All you have to do is ask. Now, I'll be real with you. It's AI, so it's not always going to be perfect. But if you're a beginner, Kodee will definitely help you out. Let's say your website starts running slow. Kodee can help pinpoint the issue, whether it's a traffic spike or a misconfigured plugin. Or let's say you encounter an error like a 500 internal server error. Just ask, what's causing this error? Kodee will suggest checking the server logs, looking into any misconfigured .htaccess files, or identifying problematic plugins. Again, not perfect, but if you learn to use Kodee to your advantage, your VPS will thank you for it. Before we wrap up this VPS hosting tutorial, let's tackle some common questions. When should I upgrade from shared hosting to VPS? The short answer, when your website outgrows shared hosting, whether it's in terms of traffic or functionality. I recommend upgrading when your site is generating enough revenue to support the best VPS hosting, when it starts making money. That's the sweet spot for an upgrade. What happens if I need more resources on my VPS? As I mentioned earlier, you can easily scale up your server at any time without downtime. You just need to purchase more resources, nothing to stress about. Hostinger offers up to 8 virtual cores and 32 gigabytes of RAM, which should be plenty for even large projects. If you need more than that, you might want to consider upgrading to a dedicated server. Can I install custom software on a VPS? Absolutely. Unlike shared hosting, where you're often restricted in terms of software installations, a VPS gives you root access. This means you can install any custom software or applications your project requires. So go ahead and build your own WordPress setup. Customization is all yours. What happens if I mess up my VPS configuration? Mistakes happen and that's okay. Hostinger offers automatic snapshot backups, so if things go wrong, you can easily restore your server to a previous state. And if things get really out of hand, you can always reinstall the operating system. The great part, no one will fine you or stop you from experimenting with your private server. It's all in your hands. Can I run multiple websites on a VPS hosting? Absolutely. A VPS can easily host multiple websites as long as it has the necessary resources. You can configure multiple domains and websites using free control panels like Webmin or CyberPanel. A good rule of thumb is to allocate at least 2 GB of RAM and storage space per website, but this depends on the type of projects you're working on. How do I monitor the performance of my VPS? Hostinger provides a user-friendly control panel that lets you monitor server performance, including CPU usage, memory, and disk space. If you need more advanced insights, you can use tools like Nagios or Zabbix, but keep in mind these will require some learning and setup. What's the difference between VPS and cloud hosting? This is a hot topic. Both VPS and cloud hosting offer scalability and flexibility, but the key difference lies in how resources are allocated. VPS provides a dedicated virtual environment with fixed resources, giving you more control over how things run. Cloud hosting, on the other hand, distributes resources across multiple servers, offering better reliability and scalability for dynamic workloads. Think of cloud hosting as a more advanced distributed version of shared hosting. It maximizes performance and minimizes issues. VPS, though, is more about control. It's like having your own mini dedicated server, just on a smaller scale. And there you have it, a complete-ish VPS tutorial to getting started with Hostinger. From setting up your server to hosting your website, it's not as intimidating as it seems. The key is taking it one step at a time and having a platform like Hostinger that caters to both beginners and advanced users alike. With the right tools, you'll be up and running in no time. If you have any questions or need clarification, drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and maybe even hit that notification bell for the upcoming extensive VPS tutorial. Anyway, I really hope you've managed to launch your site and now are simply enjoying all the VPS benefits. Okay, enough yapping. I'll see you all next time. Bye.